Usually when it starts that way, I do. But go ahead.
Have organization, the team been contacting you about these activities and been going on about the gambling?
We have no. That's an ongoing investigation. We have no comments about that. But, yeah.
Day later, we're looking at the tape. Obviously, kind of a tale of two halves for y'all.
Yeah, in many ways. We talked a lot about a lot of different things, but defend, rebound, and share. Those are overarching principles. And if you look at that, the defense wasn't to the level we needed. We did not rebound the ball. 18-9 on the offensive glass, 51-37, I believe, overall. And then sharing the basketball, got into too many ISO situations in the first half, got lulled into making some shots and thinking that was the way to play. The ball has the energy. We have to move the ball, let everybody touch the basketball. And then we have incredible scorers. In those moments when they need to, they will. It just, there's a flow and there's a rhythm and there's a vibration to this game that we'll find it. We'll find it.
I see the players talking a bit after practice. What's kind of the overall message between you guys?
It's a good vibe. That's what the message is. I think that listen, credit to Phoenix. They got a win, but in many ways, our guys are like, we let one get away, coach, and that bothers us, and it should bother you. Wins in this league are very, very hard to come by, and I think everybody understands that, and now it's back to the drawing board against an even tougher team in Utah.
I know several coaches that have been here with the Kings before you would always want their veteran players to speak up and call some of that out. It seemed like some of that was happening there at half court.
No, they don't. You would want that as a coach, but I ask them. Sometimes they got something, sometimes they don't. What you don't want is you don't want it to be fake. It's got to come from your heart and it's got to be real. So you just don't talk the talk. If you got something to say it. And most times when they do, and they have all spoken, speaking of the veterans, and when they did, it was poignant and it was to the point, and it was exactly what needed to be heard by the group. Because one thing that you understand about team sports, when you get inside that locker room, you understand what's going on inside that locker room. So you know why and how and what and all those different things. So normally they've thought about it because they feel it. So I encourage them to communicate and love each other. That's my biggest thing. Because if you love each other, you go the extra mile for each other. And if you just like each other, it's kind of not it.
I know you've been big on there's the game and then there's the fight within the game.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the very first opening night, the fight from your team?
I obviously didn't win the game, but I thought that there was fight there. It's not still to the level that we want. But because I thought that in the first quarter, in the first half, there was some spunk in the defense. In the second half, I thought that we came out and there was a bit of, we were second to the ball. We didn't react the way that we need to react. It's, games online. When that happens, we're punching first. And that, there are parts of this that we all have to learn together, and that's what I told them today is listen, we in this together. We gonna win together, we gonna lose together. I'm gonna be the one taking all the bullets. I'm okay with that. But one thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do it together.
When you look at the tape, the film, what did you see as far as the difference in that first half and that third quarter with Phoenix?
I thought Phoenix played with an aggression and pace, but really they missed those shots in the first half, and we made some really tough isolation shots. And you get lulled into thinking that, okay, that's how it's going to be. 19-point lead in this league is absolutely nothing. And like I said, credit to Phoenix. They made shots in the second half that they were missing in the first half, and our aggressiveness and physicality did not match the moment.
Phoenix started switching a lot in that second half. In those situations, what would you like to see your team do offensively to not get stuck in the middle?
Yeah, the ball has to move from side to side first of all, but there has to be a pace in and out of screens. There has to be the proper angle on those screens, that you don't allow the defense to get underneath you and keep you on top, because the whole point is when you get behind the defense, they have to react. So by flying into those screens or underneath, tapping the hip and then cutting down the lane, that that requires them to respond on the backside, which opens up passes on the backside, which then the dominoes start to fall in response to now they're behind you. It's like when you throw a punch at somebody, they have to respond. They never did this. They were always just kind of like, okay. And that's just unacceptable for us. We call that red, and we have to learn how to play against reds, because if people watch the film, we're going to see some of that.
Son, the update with me going down. How tough is that? I mean, here he is, kind of his first start, has a nice solid contribution, has a little setback. It's just kind of.
I mean, for us, obviously, it's tough, but just for him, I mean, coming into his first year, getting a start in his first game, like there's a lot of positives, and there were a lot of positives in everything that he did. It's just unfortunate, but he'll learn that that's also part of our game. So all of this is, especially for him and our younger guys, it's a learning curve. And like if it was easy, everybody would do it. So, whatever conditioning-wise, whatever he's feeling with his body, whatever, if it's yoga, there's all types of different things that I, as a player, learn to try to help myself and further myself, because the best ability is availability. And but I know he works his butt off, so I'm not worried about him. It's just one of those things he's going to learn. He'll grow from this. He'll be better after his first game. Now, we'll see where everything goes with him, but it's a learning curve.
Seeing Belmont's and IJ out there, is it possible that they get ready to go for him?
Anything's possible. You like that? Okay.
Going with some smaller lineups. Obviously, you guys lose out on the glass. I know you want to team rebound there and improve that, but what are the strengths that you feel like you can lean into with those smaller groups?
Well, with the smaller groups, I think there's a speed factor that you play. There should be an aggressiveness factor. There should be a defensive make them feel us factor. There should be a 94 feet or just the picking up higher factor. There are things that play into our favor as well. When it comes to small ball or big ball, whichever wins out on that particular night wins out. It's not like one is better than the other. If they're playing big and they're not getting rebounds and we're getting rebounds, then it's not really helpful for them. If we're playing small and we're not getting rebounds and not making shots, then it doesn't play in it for us.
What was your conversation with the team about those 10 free throws that they
Make them.
Kind of along the lines of just, the size and what you guys give up. Obviously, so much will be made about the offensive rebounds last night. Do you go in there kind of like, I don't know, this might be silly, but is there a barometer there where you're like, okay, this is far too many? Or do you expect to give up some of those on that end due to the lack of size?
I think that the league has changed, and a lot of teams are crashing 5 players. And you have to adjust to that because it's a different philosophy than has been seen before. I would even say it's not really crashing. They're just going to what you call tag, so they're going to touch you and be on top of you. And when that happens, it really turns into a 50-50 ball. But if you don't tag them, they're free, and then normally that 50-50 ball comes to them. So it's something that we have to work on and we have to become better at, because we're going to see it with a lot of teams. They're going to be sending people, and like I said, it's not necessarily like they're running in there to get offensive rebounds. They're running in there to put themselves in position to say, there's a loose ball. How bad do you want it?